Okay, today we're going to be going over this worksheet. It has 3 problems. Each of them can be done with the order of operations. So what I like to do is go over here to the side in this little corner. We're going to write it down. P for parentheses, E for exponents, M for multiply, D for divide, A for add, S for subtract. This shows the order of which you are supposed to go through and work each problem. So we're going to start with this one. It's pretty simple. What most students like to do is just go from left to right, but that would be wrong because here we have multiplication. And when you look back over here, you see that multiplication comes before adding and subtracting. Now, with these, you have to see that multiplication and dividing can be done in any opposite order. You can do dividing before multiplying, but these two have to be done after these and before these. And the same applies for adding and subtracting. So we'll go back up here, and on this one you'll see that 1 times 10 is 10, and then you just fill in the rest. So 4 plus 6 minus 10. And once you get to this part, you can just read from left to right and go through and add and subtract. So 4 plus 6 is 10, and then 10 minus 10 equals 0, and then you'll put your answer right there. Now this one is a little bit harder. As you can see, there is parentheses, so when you go to your list, you see that parentheses has to come first. So what you'll do is the operation that is inside the parentheses first. 3 plus 7 is 10, and then you fill out the rest of the problem. 4 times 6 plus 10 minus 5, and then you see that you have multiplication here. You must do that first. No matter where multiplication lies in the problem, luckily here to the very front of the problem, you have to do multiplication and dividing first. So 4 times 6 equals 24, and then you fill in the rest, and then you can go from left to right. So 24 plus 10 equals 34, minus 5 equals 29, and then you put it back up here at the top. This problem, much more different than the other ones because it has parentheses and exponents, and it has multiplication once you work through your parentheses. And as you can see up here, you must do parentheses first. So you'll go down here and you'll do 2 plus 3, which equals 5. And then once you do this, you can put parentheses around it, but you have to remember that 6 parentheses 5 means to multiply. So some people like to just put it like this, and that's fine. That works both ways. But then you would just finish filling out the problem. And then once you go back up, you see that exponents comes next, so you must do that. So 4 to the power of 3 equals 64, and then you finish filling out your problem. And as you can see, we have multiplication, so you must do that first. 6 times 5 is 30, and then you fill out the problem. Since I'm running out of room, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to rewrite it over here. So 64 minus 30, oops, not plus, minus 15, and then you can go from left to right. 64 minus 30 is going to be 34 minus 15, and that's going to be 19, and then you just fill that back there. And now you have finished your problems, and hopefully you've learned a little bit more about the order of operations.